Hello children, and welcome back to the video tutorial. Today we will do Social Studies Standard 5, Chapter 5, Fundamental Rights and Duties. In this chapter we will cover what is Constitution, we will discuss about Indian Constitution, we will discuss about our fundamental rights, we will discuss about the organs of the government, we will discuss about the fundamental duties and directive principles. Let's begin with what is Constitution. In simple language, Constitution means a set of rules which a government should follow to run the country. It says Constitution has defined certain rules and regulations for the governments to follow to run the country. On the other hand, it also defines about three organs of the government: legislature, executive and judiciary. Legislature means they make the laws for the country, and executives, they implement those laws, and the duties of the judiciary is to see that those laws made and executed by these two are obeyed. And judiciary's job is also to see that these two, legislators and executives, are working functionally properly. The Constitution also explains the relation between the government and the citizen. It also defines the power of the government so that the power cannot be misused by the government. It also takes all the precautions and safeguard the rights of all the citizens. So this is what do we mean by Constitution. Now let's discuss about Indian Constitution. India became free on 15th August 1947. After the independence, the first and the major task of the government was to form a constitution. To form a constitution, they formed a constituent assembly. People elected this constituent assembly, which was headed by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, and they made the constitution. They laid down the constitution, and this constitution was enforced on 26th January 1950. The introduction to Constitution, which is also called the preamble, it clearly states that India is an independent, sovereign, secular, socialist and democratic republic. Now, we will just talk about shortly what sovereign means. Sovereign means India is an independent country, and no other country can force its supremacy on her. Means India is an independent country and we have our own constitution, we have our own heads of the country, so other country cannot interfere with us and they cannot force anything on us. Socialist means the constitution declares that all the citizens are equal. They will be treated equally and they will be given equal opportunities. Secular means that all the religions of the country are given equal importance. You can follow any religion you want. Democratic means that India has a democratic form of government and the government is chosen by the people of the country. And Abraham Lincoln also defined democracy as the government of the people, for the people and by the people. The word republic means that the head of the country is directly or indirectly elected by the people. No one can stand and claim that from today I am the head of the country. No. In a democracy you can't do that. In a democracy, the head of the country is elected directly or indirectly by the citizens of the country. Now this constitution, as I said in the beginning, is there to protect the citizens. So the constitution has given us, the citizens, some fundamental rights and some fundamental duties as well. Like a coin has two sides, in the same manner the constitution gives us some rights at the same time some duties also. Now we will discuss these rights now. Right to equality, the first rights of human citizens of India. Right to equality means all the citizens are equal in the eye of law. No one is small, no one is big. Irrespective of caste, creed, religion, color, education, whatever it is, we all are equal. We all are to be given equal opportunities. Next is right to religion. The constitution empowers us to follow any religion, to worship any god we want. No one can force us to change our religion. No one can force us to change our religion. We have the freedom to follow any religion we want. So the second fundamental right is to choose our own religion and follow. Number 3 is right to justice. Right to justice is mean the international human laws has given us some rights. If you find that those rights are getting violated, we can approach for justice. Next is cultural and educational rights. We have the right to study, we have the right to celebrate our festivals, we have the right to celebrate, we have right to have our cultural life, and no one can stop us from studying. If you want to study, we have the right to study. Right to constitutional remedies. This is very important right. We have been given so many rights. If a given point of time, if we find that we are being denied to exercise our right, we can approach the judiciary, we can approach the court. If any of our rights are being denied, we have the right to approach court. This is what the right to constitutional remedies is. Right to freedom. Under this heading, there are so many right of freedom. Number 1 is freedom of speech and expression. Under this, the first is freedom of speech and expression means we have the right to speak and we have the right to express. But that does not mean while speaking we will hurt others, we will harm others. We have to make sure when we speak and express ourselves, others are not hurt, and we should not violate any rules. Next is freedom of assembly. Freedom of assembly allows us to gather at one place, have a discussion, have a meeting, and we can talk and discuss, but discussion and meeting should not be about against the country or against the law. Freedom of association. Freedom of association means we can associate ourselves with any group, any institution, provided they accept us. They have certain criteria. If the group has the right to deny our membership, we can have association, we can have a group, we can have a meeting like that, we can have any activity, but group has also right, institution has also right to deny our memberships according to their criteria. Freedom of movement, we can move around freely in the country. No one can stop you from moving from one place to another. If you are a citizen of a country, you can move around in the country anywhere. Freedom of residence and settlement. It means you can, within the country, you can buy land anywhere, you can make your house anywhere, you can have your residence anywhere in the country, you can settle down anywhere in the country. The next is freedom of profession, occupation, trade and business. Means the constitution is giving you the freedom to do any kind of business you want. You can pursue any profession, you can do any kind of trade or whatever you want, you have the freedom to do that. Now very recently, under this right of freedom, two freedoms were added very recently. One is RTI. RTI means right to information. Right to information empowers you to ask the government any question you want. Any clarification you want from the government, you have the right to ask, and government will provide you the answer. If you have any clarification, any doubt about any scheme, any expenses, any construction, you can ask God and ask the government, and the government will provide you the information. And one more right was added is right to education, RTE, right to education. Under this rule, government is supposed to give free education to the children from age of 6 to 14. This rule was, this freedom was added recently, and under this freedom, right, under this side, the government has to provide education to children from age 6 to 14. That does not mean we can ask the private institutions to teach us freely. No. Free education means in the government institution, in the government schools. As I said, the coin has two sides. In the same manner, when we have given this right, fundamental rights, at the same time we have been given some duties also to follow. Now, what are those duties? There are so many duties. In this video, we will cover few duties. Number one is, we have to follow the rules laid down by the government. We have to obey the rules laid down by the government. We have no other option. If you violate, you will be caught and you will be punished. We have to respect the national flag and the national anthem. You cannot show disrespect to national flag and national anthem. You have to respect them. The next is, all citizens must try to keep the country together. We have to promote unity. We have to save the country from danger. We have to promote unity among each other and keep the country together. All the citizens must promote the spirit of harmony. Harmony means togetherness, brotherhood. We have to promote that. We have to teach everyone to be together, be united, and have a brotherhood and harmony in the country. We have to protect our natural environment. We have to protect trees. We have to protect animals. We have to protect forests, lakes, wildlife, rivers, whatever natural things around us, we have to protect them. We should avoid violence, and we should protect public property. We should not be part of any violence. We should not cause any violence, and we have to protect the public property. Now, what is public property? Public property is a property which belongs to common people, which is used by everyone, which is not a private property. So we have to protect the public property, and we have to make sure that we are not causing any kind of violence. We should value our heritage and culture, and we should preserve them. We should preserve our culture, we should value our culture and heritage, and we should safeguard them. Now, Constitution has some directive principles. Now, what is directive principles? Directive principles are the guidelines for the government to follow. Directive principles are being laid down in the Constitution so that the government does not misuse its powers. So, government should provide better education and better livelihood to all its citizens. It's government's duty, which comes under directive principles. The government should provide employment to all, irrespective of men and women. The government should provide education to children from age 6 to 14. It comes under directive principles also, means government has to follow this. There is no other options. And directive principles also states that the government should take care of the backward class people like scheduled tribes and scheduled caste to make their life better and better day by day. And the government should also ensure that none of the citizens' rights are violated. people are using all their rights. No one is protecting them to exercise their rights. So this comes under directive principles. Now, these fundamental rights, they get suspended during the emergency. Like nowadays we are having a pandemic. So these are our rights. We have the right to exercise all this. But during emergency, these rights get suspended. Means, for example, like we are having a pandemic now. Now we cannot move around freely. Now we cannot have assembly or gathering. Why? Because of pandemic. It spreads like fire. It has already spread like fire in the country. So at that time these rights get suspended for certain times. Okay. So children, in this video we have covered what is Constitution, Indian Constitution, our rights, our duties, directive principles and the organs of the country. That's all for this video, children. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care.